What's poppin', fam? It's Asia, and this is Asia Made Beauty, where I encourage you to embrace you and be bold. So to achieve this style, I started out with blown out hair, and I'm going to be using a spool holder. I'm also going to be using 5 packs of hair. I'm using the color 27, 30, and an ombre of 30 and 1B. I'm going to start off by sectioning the hair. Now I'm making a whole bunch of sections that are this size, and I made sure to put them on the spool holder. So once I did that, I began to part my hair, and as you can see, I'm starting off with one small skinny braid in the middle of my head. Now I'm going to be using grow edges for my hair. I like to use edge control when braiding because it helps make cleaner parts. So I start out each braid with about 6 stitches, and then I add in my first piece of hair. I proceed to stitch 2 to 3 more times, and then I add in additional hair. Don't worry, I'm going to slow it down for you guys, but I just wanted to kind of show you the process. So every 2 stitches, I pause and I add in hair, and I'm just wrapping it around my pointer finger. I found that that was the easiest method for me to get the hair in correctly. So as you can see, I braid it down twice, then I take a small piece of hair, I wrap it around my pointer finger, and then I just proceed to braid it in. And this gives it a really seamless look. For this style, I did feed in blonde. I also have Eco Styler olive oil gel on the back of my hand just to help me smooth my hair down as I braid. This just helps to make sure that my ends are nice and tucked, and also that they're nice and smooth. When it comes to parting, my tool of choice is a rat tail comb. It helps me to get the part nice and clean. I can also see really well with a rat tail comb. So here's the slowed down version. As you can see, I'm starting off with 6 to 7 stitches, and then I'm going to go ahead and feed in my first piece of hair, wrapping it around my pointer finger. I'm then going to proceed to stitch it down 2 more times and then wrap it around my pointer finger. And I'm just going to continue this process until I get to the end. I'm using very small pieces throughout the entire braid because I wanted it to look more like a natural hairstyle, like if it were my own hair braided. I didn't want it to be super thick. Now on the sections where I needed to add hair closer to the root, I used that ombre 1B and 27 hair, and I just put that in at the root. This helped to add a little bit more stability to the braid, and I just liked the overall look. And then I would start to feed in color 30. I also feel like it created a more seamless look rather than the 30 poking in too early, especially since my color has grown out a lot. And this is what my hair looked like once I had everything braided down to the ends. So to style my hair, I'm going to be using beads that I picked up from my local beauty supply store. Now I wanted to have gold and brown beads. To put on the beads, I used a bobby pin. I just wrapped the bobby pin around the braid, and then I put the beads on by pushing it onto the bobby pin. And then once I had all of them on the bobby pin, I pushed it onto the braid. It's really simple. If you have a beater, that's great too, but I don't believe in buying beaters because honestly bobby pins work just fine. So that's typically what I use when I bead my hair or my daughter's hair. I'm then going to secure everything in place with a rubber band, and I like to measure each of my braids with like my starter braid just so I can make sure everything is very seamless and even. And then after I've attached my rubber band, I just clip off the excess hair and push the beads down. So once I've cut all those off, I'm going to take my edge booster from Style Factor, and I just use this to smooth down the roots of my hair. And this did a really good job of just making sure everything stayed nice and secure, and also that my braids lasted a long time. I made sure not to add too much because this really does have a strong hold, but I just put, it around my edges just to make sure everything was nice and smooth. Then I took my Lotta Body foaming mousse and I just put that on the roots of my hair, and then I smoothed it throughout just to make sure that my braids were nice and laid down. And to make sure that it laid down well, all I did was put on a headscarf, a satin headscarf, and I let that sit on it until it was 100% dry. So the next day, the next morning, I took that off, and pretty much this is what we were left with, a nice sleek style. So let me know down in the comment box below if you're going to be giving this hairstyle a try. Don't forget to check out my latest videos and to subscribe if you haven't already. Remember to embrace you and be bold, and look out for my next protective style video dropping next week. Catch you loves in my next video.